We do love you, Leeds. Leeds. Cheers, my boy. Hello, welcome to Imagine Not Being Leeds, and welcome to the final pint. Matty, Darren and Dillo put the world to rights regarding Leeds United with a nice cold brewski. Have you got one, Dillo? Even though you're rushed? Come on. Oh, look
How
at
good is
that.
that, lads? I'm ready. Swapping it up, boys. Swapping it up. Love it.
Good.
Getting on Matty's getting ready for Matty next Saturday.
Oh, honestly, lads, right? I can't wait. I haven't done 2 days on sesh. It's my Christmas do on Friday. You guys are flying over from Ireland for Oxford game. Sat together, it's going to be min. I haven't done 2 days on sesh, mate, in about 10, 15 years.
So you'll be meeting us for a cure.
Ruined, mate, honestly.
Love it.
Yeah, too right. But let's just get into a few chats. We've kept them waiting. You've had a fun day, though, guys. Tell them about your day. You've been to see Santa?
Went to see Santa today, in Crow Park in Dublin City Centre. Yeah, so went in to see him. Kids absolutely loved it. Good day. But you know what? I'm actually wrecked.
Wrecked myself.
Yeah. But the excitement of me seeing him has me as well.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat, to be honest. You know, and the mad thing is, never actually chatted to Darren about when we left. Did you see the photo of the family and where I was?
Yo,
to lie
Matty,
down on the front, sitting down on the front like a child.
Yeah.
like modelling for Santi.
It's one of them like paint me like one of your French girls kind of thing. It's like, Dillo, come on, man. Let's be a family photo, like.
Tried to get up off the ground, and my sister wouldn't let me up, kept pushing me down as well.
Yeah.
Well, I've just come off the Joe show. If anyone who's just watched it, I'm pretty sure all chatters. I really enjoyed that. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, even though we're second in league. There's a little bit of contrast there, and a little bit of dark to the light, a little bit of a grey area where we're sitting well in league, but we've got to discuss the away performances and yesterday, obviously. To get stuck in with that. So Darren, I'll let you take it away, mate. How do you feel in general before we look at the players? How are you feeling about the away form and yesterday?
Still the same. Usually, like obviously the day after a match, like it's when you're after watching a game like that, and then you go on straight on Joe's show, you can still be a bit hot and bothered under the collar and stuff like that. I still feel the exact same, lads. I feel like when you look at the results. And obviously, Jack City from City of Leeds fans got a bit of stick saying the two of us having an argument, and like it wasn't an argument whatsoever. It was just the two of us putting our opinion across. And when you look at the away form, as in results based, right, it ain't that bad. But when you look at the performances and how the performances have felt to Ellen Road, it is bad. And that's like my angle that I'm coming from. There's only so many times you can get away with Swansea, nicking it, you're 3-2 up, you can see the goal, you go down the other end, you have the quality, there's only so many times you can do that. Again, yesterday, very, very lucky with an own goal as well, to nick a point as well, away at Deepdale. For me, it's more the performance, and I think when your performance is good and you have a level of performance and you keep it there over the course of the season, you'll get results. And it's like what you said, Matty, my fear is because our home form is so good, it's keeping us just about level peg with Sheffield United. And some people forget Sheffield United are docked 2 points as well. And if they weren't that, and obviously it's a big if, and there's ifs, buffs and maybes, they'd be 5 points ahead of us. So what would the general feeling be if we were all Leeds fans and we're sitting 5 points behind Sheffield United at this stage, when at the start of the season we're Leeds United with the best squad, the squad is league, or Sheffield United are coming down, they're losing all their players, we're going to be front and centre, blah blah blah, X, Y and Z, and we just haven't got there yet. So 21 games into the season, I don't know, I just expected a little bit better. But like what Matthew says there, the home form to the away form, it's chalk and cheese. When you just the performance wise, lads, the way that the team is actually performing, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough away form. I don't think anybody, and if you did, fair dues to you, I don't think anyone sat down yesterday and enjoyed that game of football, because I didn't, lad. For me, it was very frustrating, very disappointing. The players were slow. Like what I keep saying, it was like they were kicking a cavity block around the park at some stage. It was just not good, and we were very, very lucky to get out there with a point. Very, very lucky. Very similar to Swansea, but yeah, the performance just seemed to be the same. I wanted to see us move the ball a little bit quicker. We didn't. I wanted to see us have a little bit more intent. We didn't. It's just becoming a little bit of a worry, and there's only so many times you're going to get away before it catches us out. And I think it's what's after since. So we obviously had Millwall. We had Bristol as well, very poor performance away from home. With Blackburn, we were bet as well. and then we get out of jail down there yesterday. So it's just there's just this little trend kind of setting in. My worry is, Matty, that what happens if the home form does drop a little bit? Do you know, we haven't really hit a stumbling block along the season. Yeah, we've lost games, but we haven't hit a stumbling block yet. Do you know what I mean? Over the course, like 2 or 3 games, you know, when we lose one, draw one, and people are a little bit, you know, kind of touchy, and that will happen. That will happen. And look,
the likelihood is it will, yeah.
The likelihood it will happen. Happens to every team. Happened to Leicester towards the tail end of the last season. They had like a few squeaky bums towards the end of it, especially when we went top for a period after beating them. So it will happen. But that is my concern, that when we do hit that stumbling block, like if we're already doing this away from home, what's it going to be like then? So yeah, I just want to see the performance pick up away from home. I want us to show more. I want like that war Leeds United, you know, we'll come into your home ground to impose our style of play. I just don't think it's good enough away from home, and it's probably where I'm more critical of Daniel Farke than what I am at home. At home, love watching us play. Like I said, I don't think we could be bet by anyone. I think we're absolutely phenomenal at home. It's very, very tough to beat us at Ellen Road. But when we go away, like I said, Leeds United under 12s could beat us, because it's not good enough. It's really not good enough.
100%, mate. It's I've called with that we won't get beat at Ellen Road this season, but the likelihood is we are going to drop some points at Ellen Road. And what happens then if we've still got, you know, away games either side of a couple of draws at home? Then what happens? You know, we're only where we are now because how formidable that home form is. And is it realistic to expect us to win every single? We've won seven up bounce at home. Is it realistic for us to win another 7 up bounce at Ellen Road? Probably not. Can we do it? 100%. But if we don't, and we draw a game, and that's backed up with an away loss or another away draw.
That's what I'm saying. When that's where the stumbling block view. You imagine like what we did when we had Norwich and Sunderland back to back, 2 back to back away games, very, very tough. Drew both of them. Sure, the best Sunderland, we know what happened there. But look what you said, Matty. Like, if we have 2 back-to-back away games and then we stumble at home, you're talking 3 games without a win. Do you know what I mean? And Sheffield United are pulling away from us, or Burnley are pulling away from us. And I think the most concerning thing is, lads, we haven't even gone to the tough away games. Like Stoke on Boxing Day, Stevens' Day is going to be a tough game. We still have to go to Turfmoor. We still have to go to Bramble Lane as well. So if we're not standing up, you know, at Deepdale or Ewood Park, what are we going to be like when we're going to, you know, our closest rivals away from home? So yeah, it's getting a little bit of concern, and I was hoping yesterday we could kind of just put it to bed a little bit, especially the early kickoff. But it seems like the hoodoo was just rolling on a little bit now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, pal. Dillo, how are you feeling, mate? I know you'll be feeling miserable with all this doom and gloom. Can I just say to anyone who's new in chat, we are really positive Leeds fans. You know, Dillo has this Leeds tag that he always has it back of his head. This little voice in his head always says it's going to.
Hold on to it. I'll never let it go.
But we are really positive, and we're really happy where we are. If anyone's thinking it's all doom and gloom, because you know I've seen comments already on Joe's show and on here. Obviously, you know it's a draw. It's 7 points out of 9. We'd have took that at the start of the week, expecting it to be Middlesbrough game.
The other way around, yeah.
But when you look at it, Dillo, it's now we've got to wait, you know, till after Christmas, now Boxing Day, to right the wrong of his away performances, and that's I'd rather drop the points to Middlesbrough. I know that sounds daft, and smash them yesterday just to get that hoodoo off us back, because it's just going to drag on now. And let's be fair, Dillo, on paper people do predictions, and I've seen Joe do it. He's in a predicting table. He had Burnley losing away at Norwich today, or drawing. That didn't happen. He had us beating Preston. That didn't happen. Who can guarantee we're going to go to Stoke, Dillo, and get anything?
And look at last season. Look at last season at Stoke. Bamford still haunts me, that penalty over the bar. Yeah. No guarantees in this league.
No. The Championship is the most, I've been saying it from the start when I started this YouTube journey, it's the most hard-hitting league you can possibly play or watch even. Leeds always seem, it's the same in the Premier League though, well, to a certain degree. Leeds always put it up to the big dogs, but then they crumble at the little dogs, and especially away from home as well. Obviously that's the problem at the minute. But, you know, Mike, you said it there a couple of weeks ago. We have to earn it. You know, each player that's on the bench has to earn it. And we're not doing that at the minute. No. Away from home. Yeah, home. We are. But away from home, we're not. So, you know, I keep going on about Nanto because it's just the first thing that comes to mind. You know, he scored a goal and he ran to kill a bogey. In other words, trying to, thanks very much for motivating me, which I'm all for, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he still should be doing it on the pitch. He should be making some sort of impact, and he hasn't been doing that. No. Definitely not. I'm with you and obviously Evie on the situation when it comes to Aronson. Now, with that being said, he did have a great game yesterday, but he did have a good one against Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
So it's gone to the point now where I'm not going to necessarily say panic, but something needs to be sorted out. Because even set pieces yesterday, we just completely crumbled. It wasn't a high tempo game. Ball wasn't moved quick enough. Players were laxy daisy on it. Subs were too late. You know, I feel like I'm complaining an awful lot, but I can't see any positive apart from that.
You're allowed to, Dillo. You're allowed to. And say I've had it today. I've seen wild takes. You know, you're not allowed to complain about a bad performance because we're doing so well in the league. You are allowed to complain. Like we all here think we're going to get promoted. We all do. Like we all feel like we're going to get promoted, but we are allowed to criticise a performance. If you're not, there's no point having a YouTube channel. There's no point coming to watch people talk on YouTube because what is the fucking point? You know what I mean? We're here to discuss a performance. And the away performances in general, and like I say, we'll all have to Oxford game next week. We'll do his predictions at the end of the year. None of us are going to predict anything other than a convincing Leeds win. I'm sure of that. But that ain't the point. Like when you go away, Darren, you know you've got to earn the right to play, as we've already said. And these away games where you haven't got the crowd behind you. You know you're in terms of the fans, you're the minority. Yeah, we bring the noise. You know they might even. I've heard takes of. They've watered the pitch too much, the grass is too long, regardless of what they try and put into to give them the advantage, because quality-wise, they haven't got the advantage we have.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, between Farke's tactics, substitutes, the lads' performance, the mentality, I don't know what the fuck is wrong when we play away from home to drop that tempo. Because for me, we always say, I mean, Joe were the one that sort of has always said it, tempo, it doesn't matter how good the players are, the same 11 could smash someone 6 or 7-0 playing with high tempo. The week after lose 1-0 away to a poor side. The tempo of this side, if we don't pass the ball with pace, Darren,
tempo is
very average.
Massive, mate. If you played football, not even at like a professional, but somehow like an amateurish level, do you know what I mean? And you've had decent coaching. I'm not saying kind of, Sunday league, go out to the pub the night before I get smashed and go out, throw your socks on. If you play football at an okay kind of level, tempo is massive. It's drilled into you young as a kid, and there's many managers that's pulled me off, and Dylan tell you, the managers that have said to me, lads, up the tempo, and when you do, you see the difference. And that's the only thing that I can see, like, I'm in no way like a coach, but I've played football and watched football all my life. And that's the only thing that I can see is the problem with this side. Like, I'm not going to dwell too much into Daniel Farke's substitutions, because all the stats are there to back it up that when he does make them 70-minute substitutions, it is changing the game. I would like to see them a bit earlier and change the game earlier, but we have the most goals in the 90th minute and stuff like that, and subs coming off the bench, and we've all them stats backing that up that it does work that way. So not going to delve too much into that. But when we're away from home, lads, we move the ball so slow. And if you just think about it and strip all the bullshit away from it, like, formations and, everything like that, if you move the ball slow, how easy for you, if you're defending against that and you see them just moving the ball sluggish, you don't have to move. You can just stand static. The fella that you're marking, he's not going to move. He's standing static. And tempo is in, like, moving the ball. Tempo is in your movement as well. We just don't have it away from home. We're just not doing it. Yeah. That's the only thing I think Leeds might need to change, and it has to be coming from the management, Matty and Dillo, because there's no way that the players can do it at Ellen Road. They move the ball quick, you see the third man running off the ball at Ellen Road. It's fast, it's quick, it's good, the tempo's high, and then you go away from home and it's not there. So how can there be such a drop off from home to away? It has to be coming from the manager, where the manager's saying slow build up from the back, keep the ball, let's try and drag them out. But ultimately they're not going to come out. They ain't going to come out. They're not going to come out and try and press us. As soon as we get into their final third, then they'll nick the ball off us. And exactly what happened yesterday. They want a quick turnover. They want a counter-attack on us. And it happened to us yesterday. I'm sure we're going to get into the goal a little bit more. But it's the main thing for me away from home. It's one thing that's just driving me mad is the tempo that we move the ball. And it's tempo just a 5-yard pass. That's what I'm saying. Just move the ball quicker.
But, Darren, we said it as well yesterday. It's the same way we're losing every time. Now, I'm not going to use the bullshit that everyone kind of keeps saying. Answer
Eva's comment there. I think it's both, Evie. I think it's half and half now. Just times I think Farke doesn't help the situation, especially when he sees players struggling like Aronson at Blackburn. He could have taken it out. He could have changed it up at half time again yesterday. So for me, it's both. But it's more so where I'm critical of Daniel Farke is away from home. At home, absolutely no problem at all with Daniel Farke. I think he's a great manager. Still think he'll get out of this league. It's away from home that I have the questions of Daniel Farke and where I'm most critical of him.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying it's the same way that we're losing games. The only one that I can actually put a finger on was Burnley. Leeds dominated, and they just got, Solomon slipped and they got counter-attack and got a goal. But it was kind of similar to a certain degree of the same goal yesterday. It's picked up in midfield by a sloppy pass or whatever it was, broke us on the counter and they got a goal. It's the same way every time, and it's all to do with the likes of whether it's Tanaka or Rotwell, someone that's going up higher up the field. Sometimes people aren't doing the running back, for Bogle, even as I thought he played okay, but he was there as well. But like people said, he had a bad game. I think he done alright. I thought he was the one that was driving to go a bit more forward. Me and you did say there in half time. So it's just.
I just don't think it was much like James. It reminded me of James at Bristol. Like he came back from an injury. He wanted to try. He was trying, but he just sharpness wasn't there.
Yeah.
And he was losing it like a little bit, but he was trying. I can't give any criticism.
I'm not saying that he played unbelievable.
He wasn't outstanding. And none of them are apart from James.
Yeah, you said actually. I can't remember the word. You something about he was the best out of a bad bunch. If that makes sense for me, anyway. You seen when Solomon came on, he injected that kind of bit of more flair in the players. Yeah. You know, when I said it, I really do sound like a right game, but they're just not showing. Darren James is like hitting the crossbar. Show that bit of character. Show the lads on the pitch that you're determined to whatever means necessary to get a goal. Or you know, it's just I just feel, you know, and then obviously it didn't help early on in the game when things should have got the red card. And he didn't, you know, and then Farke was already like a lunatic, and then Rodon had a little bit tussle with one of their players in the box, and just kind of went out of control then from there. And then, you know, second half I thought they were even worse. Positive is that we snatched the goal, but the negative is the likes of Bamford and all. It's absolutely shy. Sorry.
Yeah,
it is.
No. I think it's thinking now. I feel like Farke, we don't set up differently away from home really, but that tempo, I feel like that instruction may have come from Farke in the past. I feel like now it's accumulated to it being a mental issue now, you know, a mentality problem, because we still had 18 shots on goal yesterday. Do you know what I mean? We still had big chances. We had 2, 3, 4 big chances that could have gone in, you know. Yeah, we're not playing scintillating football, but at home sometimes we don't play scintillating football. You know, it's not like we blow our teams away on the eye every single week, but away from home, there's definitely a lack of confidence maybe there, you know, like Danny says, when we play at home, there probably is an arrogance, an air of confidence with lads. They'll probably turn up and they'll get found out one day. They probably will, but I think they turn up and they expect to win, and they go and they impose themselves on the game. Every home game, they go out there, they win that first ball, they win second ball, and other team, you know, they're fighting for their bloody lives at times. You know, we can really fly out that first 20 and really put a marker down. Away from home, I feel like we're a bit too passive. We get very nervy. As soon as we concede that first goal, we all know, so the players will know, we're probably not going to do it today, lads. That's how it feels every away game. When we don't score, like we say, the stats back up, score first, we'll win the game. When we concede first, honestly, you may as well just finish the game there and then, because I never feel like we're going to get back into it. And as a Leeds United fan, I know me and Evie spoke on Final World about, are these players as good as what we all think? You know, have we got a defined right to say we're the best in the league? You know, who knows? But when you're 1-0 down after 20, 25 minutes away at Preston, Leeds United fans should be expecting us to get back into the game at least.
You still should be expecting us to win it, yeah.
You should be buzzing coming out at half time, you know, like me and Darren straight away, like we always check, it didn't work. Like it's not going to bring anyone on at half time, but kind of looking forward to that. Still didn't happen, and then you're all of a sudden you're kind of in your head saying, "Geez, I hope Leeds can nick one early. I hope we're not going to be." All these thoughts start going through my head, and then like, you know, if people watched it, I was in fell form yesterday as well. Just watching it, got boring, you know. Don't get me wrong, if Preston go out there and smash Leeds 3-0 and deserve to win it, you'd say, you know, fair enough, Leeds played bad, but it was actually an enjoyable game to watch. I know that doesn't sound right, but I mean, just in general, the game was absolutely dirt. You know, fair enough, the Preston came out, they frustrated us. They didn't have a low block, it was not at all. It was, you know, they came at us, to be fair. I have to give them their flowers, and then they got the goal. That's just the way it is, lads. Have to move on, but need to sort it out. Farke needs to pull something out of his magic hat, and
like Andy says here, there is definitely doubt creeping in, you know, with the fan base, and obviously that's going to happen when 50% of your games are away from home, and that form away from home is terrible. But I'd like to touch on some individuals, and we'll start at the back, because I know Millie has had a lot of stick, and obviously you were doing your watch along, and we were messaging through the game, and when it initially happened, I'll be honest, I give Preston a round of applause for that goal. I thought it was a wonderful move, and I didn't like giving Meslier much stick. I thought a lot of errors before the shot came in, and it's point blank range. He did really well to get to it. On reflection, a day after looking at the replay, yes, it got worse as a slow motion got slower and slower, but he did well to react and get to it. But my God, he had so much body behind it. how he didn't tip it around the post. So let's start with Mez. And I know he's getting a bashing. He's
I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this.
But Darren, take it away with Melia.
Yeah, look, I obviously said on stream, look, before like anyone pops off in the chat, I'm not hammering Meslier. I'm not saying the reason we conceded that goal yesterday was Meslier, because before I think we committed well to many men forward. Rotwell, first of all, losing the ball the way he did, he ran into a pack of 3 men, which I don't know what he was trying to do. They obviously win the ball back. Strike is completely flat-footed. Tanaka is ball watching, and we've seen that with Strike. He's right up his hole. Osmond just takes one flick around the corner. Strike is flat-footed and he's gone. He's never getting back. Strike isn't that pacey. He delivers a brilliant ball into the box. So if you watch Joe Rodon as well, he's too busy looking around, instead of actually waiting for the ball to come into the box, thinking, right, I need to intercept this. He's too busy trying to, looking over his shoulder where the other man is going. It's a brilliant ball delivered into the box. It bounces up a little bit. It hit Potts' shin. So we didn't even get a full, a full connection on it to smash it into the back of the net. He gets a shin it, and Melia gets 2 hands behind the ball and still fumbles it into the net. So you probably have 3 to 4, errors before that, mistakes where collectively it led to the goal. But ultimately, Melia is the last line of defence, and for me, he should have been doing a little bit better there. He should have been able to tip that around the post. And you said, Matty, at the time, good goalkeeper saved that.
Yeah.
Like that for me, then I was just like, yeah, but I want to bring up something that I seen on Twitter, and probably most people in the chat and yourselves probably seen it, lads, right? So Tom Carnduff put this up. So stats for top 5 goalkeepers this season, right? Measuring how much they save compared to chances conceded, right? So Pears at Blackburn has plus 6.9. Cooper at Sheffield United 5.7. James Trafford at Burnley plus 3.3. Patterson at Sunderland plus 1.4. Elan Meslier minus 0.9.
Yeah.
So it's what Joe Wayman says when they shoot, they score. I don't think he's good enough, lads. Whatsoever. I've tried to hold in, not the hate of Meslier, but when I was stuck on him for a season, I've already accepted that. But he's just not good enough, lads, for Leeds United either way. And whether we're in the Premier League next season or we're in this Championship again next season, for me, it's just time for the change. He's not reliable. There's even at Blackburn, lads, he got plaudits at Blackburn, the one where he came out and slid. Doak took a heavy touch. He should have been saving that one anyway. He slides. It wasn't a worldly of a save either. Do you know what I mean? He has got them in him, but 9 times out of 10, lads, he has howlers in them as well. But yesterday wasn't a howler. For me, he should have been doing a little bit better. So,
Darren,
yeah.
you want that from Joe?
Can I ask really very technical question? Is that the XG or not? Excuse me, anything? Just genuinely curious.
Too technical for me. Too technical.
So it's PSXG. Yeah, so PSXG. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what Tom Carnduff put up on Twitter. So doesn't make for good reading for Elan Meslier, lads.
It doesn't. You want to see all our players in vital positions inside, down that spine of the side. You want to see them in the top. When we're the top 2, top 3 side, you want to see all our players.
Agree with Duncan there as well. Yeah, look, not solely blaming on the goal. Look what he says there. Rotwell, Strike, Rodon, Bogle. It was collectively a team catastrophe, but it just felt like he should have done a little bit better.
But you do want to see all our players, don't you, when it comes down to their... As a collective, we know what we need to do. But when it comes down to personal data and stats, you do want to see all our players, especially in that spine, hitting the key metrics, and you want to see them all in that top 5, top 6 players in that position. Like, you'd expect if you're going up, you're going to have a striker that's scoring an amount of goals. You're going to have a goalkeeper who's saving shots. It's just... It's strange to keep so many clean sheets.
Sorry, but you're just laughing at Andy's comment there. Nero's comment has me... Get a room, Joe.
Can we I'll bring this one up as well. What PSF said, our content creators are afraid to call for Farke to go because the fans are split, but this is not represented by the content creators. No, I mean, I'll touch on this and then I'll give it to you, Dillo. But I feel like, me personally, I can only talk for myself. I don't go along with any narrative. I am literally the most bog standard Leeds fan you'll ever come across. Like, you'll see me in middle at fan, I'll have my shirt off, I'll be saying whatever's on my mind. Literally, I am the most uneducated, absolute pleb you'll probably ever meet, but I love my club and I pay my money and I go every week. So it is what it is. But I don't call for Farke to go because I don't think he should go. I feel like he'll get us up. We all can discuss his limitations and his qualities as a manager or lack of quality, going up the ladder, going up that. We don't think he's a a top end Premier League manager. Not why?
Why should he go? Like, I don't know why people, it's just kind of getting.
I think because it's 50-50 fan base. I think he expects the content creators.
Are these Leeds fans that have been around for, are they kind of newish Leeds fans, or are they
Bielsa and Post probably?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to establish, me, Darren mostly. Like, obviously, I didn't go to my first Leeds game until I was 8 or 9. Every time I was in Ellen Road, you just walk up to the ticket office and you got a ticket, walk straight in. But I never seen Leeds, for me, growing up into the Premier League from what I can remember. Yeah. So I never ever known League 2, League 1 and the Championship. So going back through past managers, I'm quite happy with Farke. And I think they should be too, considering this could be a whole lot worse. It's not unbelievable at the minute, and we are going up to the Premier League. God only knows what is next season. But for the minute, Daniel Farke is the right man for this job, for now.
100%.
It's just crazy, lads. You have to really think about it, about what it was like back in the day. Sitting in 15th, and just scraping.
Like Joseph said, who do we expect to get in if Farke was sacked? He's doing what he needs to do in terms of points targets. Who goes to a club with zero job security like that? You know what it is? Like any other fan of any other side, I've heard it. I speak to fans, of other sides. They all think we're absolutely mental that we're calling for Farke. Well, we're not, but people are calling for. People honestly think it's absolutely mental.
Nearly every other site. What would you say? 90% of the other Championship clubs would bite your hand off to get Daniel Farke, lad. And if you think about it now, if we were to sack Daniel Farke and he went to another club in this Championship, I'd be worried. I'd be worried. He's definitely
just
the man to get
us. Just going back to that last comment. Sorry for going to crash down. A man was right. LUFC ST. Sorry. I'm 58 years old. Managers come and go. He's right, 100%. I don't love managers like the way, obviously Bielsa, but as far as Farke and all, I'd rather him than Gary Monk. Heck him up. You know what I mean? Let's put two and two together. We're building a serious foundation here. Look at Villa. Who's to say that's not going to be us in the next few years, with Farke or without Farke? All I'm we're going to be Leeds fans and we need to get out of this league. Let's just concentrate on that.
Unai Emery didn't get Villa promoted. It took him on at a certain point and then he needed to kick on again. Exactly. You've got to build up and where we are.
I still think Farke should be given that opportunity. 100%. Considering he got 90 points last year.
100%.
Hopefully we can get more or earning around the same. If we go up and the club back him, me and Darren talked about it there a while ago, if it's only going to be a half-arsed, the board literally need to turn and go, Daniel, here's your...
Blackburn just doesn't care. Was he like?
He's a good lad, Joe.
He's class.
But I think we'd all agree this. We can give Melier stick, or we can give Bamford stick. We can give a lot of people stick, including manager. Everyone's culpable when it don't go right, and everyone should get praise if they do well when it's going right as well. But you look at it and go, there's certain positions in a squad in a club where you can't change it. You cannot sack Farke. For me, the grass ain't always greener. This, it could totally derail his promotion push. Just like I'm not a massive Melier fan, I would probably rather stick with Melier in January. I don't want any major changes throughout. For me, the squad as it is now, you just add. You don't want to lose anybody really. Yeah, there might be people on fringes go. Your Bamfords, your Joffrey's maybe going January. But speaking about a keeper,
hopefully Bamford goes.
But speaking about a goalkeeper,
halfway through the season to change that up,
it is unreal, mate, that anyone would ever want those key positions, to be losing them. And like you say, who do you get in?
Look at Leicester fans, though, mate. It's a prime example. I know it's a different percent, but look at Leicester fans with Enzo last year. Probably more than half of their fan base wanted Enzo away with the football that he was playing. I do think a lot of it is coming up against the opposition that you do play, because I do think we do see the best of Daniel Farke's football when teams do want to come out and play football against us. Yeah. Which, I know good managers, they can counteract that and stuff like that. But a lot of them Leicester fans wanted Enzo away with last year. He gets him promoted. He goes on to Chelsea, and look at them all now. What they do to have Enzo at their club right now. So the grass isn't always greener. That's all I have to say. And even towards the Bielsa, towards the end of Bielsa, there was a few people calling for Bielsa's head as well as manager, and then when he's gone, and then you realise, I want Bielsa back. So yeah, I'm definitely not Farke out. To go back to the question that was asked, content creators don't you haven't really heard one of saying Farke out, but I just think it's being realistic. Like, who else do you get? And right now at this stage of the season, like what Matty says, it's a massive gamble. You're literally gambling with your chances of promotion, and it's imperative that Leeds get out of this league. So it's just if we can brush up on our way form, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
But
you're all right, Joe.
Like, managers need time. Like they're not going to come in and just do it. Like, fair enough, Bielsa did it. But let him see how he gets on at the end of the season. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go making any rash decisions even if he doesn't get us promoted. Because I still think, like,
how mental that be, lads, to sack your manager when you're 3 points off top, like that, that would be crazy.
I think it's right for people to speak about, could he be doing better?
I can see why, though, mate. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not here sitting here deluded going, why do people want him out? I don't understand it. I can see why some people do want him, because look, we've all different opinions the way the game should be played. Where you want the free flowing, fast, constant all out attack. Where you want to be defended, where you want it to be tough. Like everyone, Bielsa is the only manager I think we were all on board with. Like, even past managers, like, there was always a section of the fan base that wanted him out, didn't want him, like Gary Monk, etc. Like, yeah, he's definitely the man to get us out of the league. If we can just get that away form right, pick up a couple of wins away from home, keep our home form going, we'll be fine. We'll get us out of this league, and then we can chat about Daniel Farke when we get to the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what you said there, PSF, that's... Yeah, I sort of get that. Maybe you're putting faith in someone there just based on, I feel they'll do it. I feel they'll get a better manager. What they'll go off is facts, and the fact is he'll get you around the 90 points. I don't even think you need that to get promoted this season. And the fact is there, he's got 2 promotions. Yeah, a failed promotion, granted, but 90 points, we don't need to go into what 90 points does on a normal season. If he gets anywhere near that, which he's on course to do, he'll get us up. So they aren't going to gamble on having a feeling that a manager may be better. They'll have a shortlist for the contingency plans to move on from. Farke, 100%, there'll be a list there. They'll be looking at managers now with a few of maybe in 12 months, maybe less than that. But they ain't going to gamble. They know the facts of the story is that he will get us up this season. And, I'll have egg on my face if that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure the majority all sort of think that as well. We'll have enough. We will have enough. It's what I'd like to see from the board is not really any manager chat. It's go out and be proactive in January. Go in and bring a couple of players in, even if we are top. Because there's still a chance we'll be top come January. And I want them to go out there and bring in this 10, bring in maybe covering other positions where they've got a short list up, and that's the thing what Leeds don't normally do. They went and got Gilavogi, not something Leeds do. So maybe they're showing a different side, these owners, to what they're going to do when they need to. They're going out and doing it. And for me, that's the only thing they can gamble on really is January. It's a gamble if they don't add. Hopefully they go out and add, and I think that sees us have enough. Don't you? Do you agree, lads?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the number 10's imperative. Like you said, don't lose anyone in the squad, and if we can add, especially that number 10 position, we could just get a little bit of quality in that number 10 position. I think we'd be class. I think we'd be class, and I think you'd probably unlock a lot of them players. You might unlock Nanto a little bit more. Nanto mightn't feel the heat, to create and score goals as much. Might get Pirro a couple of more goals as well, a couple of more chances, because look, if you give Pirro a chance, he will score goals. It's actually just giving him the chances to put the ball in the back of the net. Just need to be a little bit more creative, I think, around that number 10 position, and I think we'll be fine as well. Could be as well to do with the away form as well, that we just don't have it, because I just think Aronson away from home as well, he doesn't really have that creative kind of spark, lads, does he? Where he like a Rutter, grab the game, by the scruff and say, look, give the ball to me, I'll go do it myself. So we don't really seem to have that away from home when the team isn't playing well, or the cards are against us. Yeah, I think we definitely, whether it obviously just talks about Leary, Barry coming, McAtee as well. But look, I'd be happy with any one of them. That both of them will have a bit of hunger in them coming into the squad.
Yeah, 100%. When you look at the games coming up, Dillo, we have got 3 away games, I think, in the next 4. Is it 3 games? Is that right? Got Oxford at home, and then we've got
Oxford, Derby,
away.
Oxford, Derby, and Stoke. Then, isn't it? Are the next 3?
Yeah, when you look at that away form, like I say, we should have got that sorted yesterday. You look at putting a run together, like people keep saying in January, it's going to be this great run like we had last year. Do you see Stoke away, Derby away? Do you see these as games Leeds will win, or are you not in that camp yet after seeing yesterday?
I was a little bit positive there for a while, and I did say Preston was going to be in the run. Well, as I said, I still gave Leeds the winning prediction because I'll never go against them, but I was very confident. I was like, Leeds are going to go on a run. Now I'm not too sure. I think Oxford will get.
He loves the stats and all, doesn't he, Joey? He loves it.
I think we should be smashing Oxford now on Saturday.
That's worrying, isn't it? 3 away in the next 5, lads. That's Duncan, you're actually giving me chills up my spine there, buddy. It's just as well like Boxing Day as well, and then you've got Derby away then on the Sunday as well. Like they're quick turnarounds. So it's the Thursday, the Sunday, and then Blackburn at home then New Year's Day. Like on paper they look like easy fixtures, lads, but just it's the quick turnaround, isn't it? That just puts the chills up me a little bit, especially 2 away games.
Yeah, 100%. And Burnley at home. We've lost twice at home. Middlesbrough at home and Burnley.
Once in the cup, and Middlesbrough won, yeah.
A game where we absolutely battered Burnley as well and still lost, but that won't happen much this season.
I don't put much weight in the Middlesbrough one. Was very kind of makeshift Leeds side, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And look at this, PSF, Blackburn and Watford will be above us at the end of those games. I'd have to disagree, but then when you put them in isolation and see 3 away games, am I confident we're going to get 9 points? No. You'd like to think we can get at least a couple of wins, but I don't know. Honestly, at home, I expect us to spank Oxford, Blackburn. The problem is, you've got the Blackburn one looming, which that's going to feel like the Middlesbrough game in terms of what we're going to feel going into that game.
Yeah.
So this run that looked, before Preston, we looked at that run and we were like, this is a brilliant run, this. All of a sudden then, it's put the negative thought in about the away games. Then you've got Blackburn who've just absolutely romping it. I mean, what a great job he does at any club he goes to, by the way. Eustace, what a manager at this level.
He's been tipped for the Wolves job now, isn't he? I think he's gone favourite for the Wolves job. Which,
let's hope he gets it.
Yeah, hope he gets it. You deserve it, John. Go there, come on. Get out of this league and just leave us alone. Leave Daniel Farke alone.
Do we sort of... look at that 10 position. I've touched on it already, but do we reckon that's the key position to changing the away form? Do we reckon that, but not in that it's Everton's fault, but if we sort out that 10 position, because I think that's our biggest problem at the minute, do you think that unlocks these away points that are sat waiting for us to grasp? Or
I don't think solely, mate.
No,
I don't think solely, but I don't think you just go get look what we've talked about, McAtee or Louis Barry, and then that's just going to change our way form. Look, it's definitely how the manager sets up as well. And surely, I think, when you speaking to someone, I actually think I was watching your stream after the game, your post-match last night in bed. I can't remember who said it on your stream, Matty, but someone did turn around and mention about Daniel Farke and like about his tactics like away from home, and did we think it was the players or did we think it was the tactics? And I do think it's got a little bit more into the mental kind of side of the players now, like away from home. You know, it became like a block in their head when they're going away from Ellen Road about how to play. And if it is, well then it's Daniel Farke's job then to big them players up, to say, you can do it, you are a better player, you can do this away from home. So it's his job to sort it out. But for me, it has to be coming from the management away from home. You can't have a carbon copy performance, not result, a carbon copy performance in every away game this season, and it's not coming from the manager. So has to stop at Daniel Farke's door for me. So I think he has to have a look at it. He's had plenty of time now. I think he knows that he got out of jail there yesterday big time. He's obviously been better at Blackburn, so it is becoming a bit of a worry. So surely he's looking at it a little bit more in depth and going, right, what do I need to do away from home? Because it's clearly becoming a trend. Look, a number 10 definitely would help. There is days where you just need a number 10 to like that, grab a by the scruff, have that little individual quality to get you through games.
It's not even that, Darren. I don't even mean just in case of like bringing in a 10 who's better than Adamson. I mean, like, even if we drop the 10 and bring in Ampadu, I feel like the key
format, yeah.
Whatever we do, whether it's personnel or we bring three, I feel like that 10 position, whether we drop the 10 and play free in midfield or bring in a better 10, I feel like that's a pivotal key piece of the jigsaw that's not quite fitting.
Yeah. So it's really
even yesterday,
the two boys in midfield.
When he towards the end of it, when it kind of felt like a little bit gun ho again, when Paddy came on, Pirro was still on the pitch, Joseph was on, Solomon when he was kind of chucking everyone on. Look, lads, Pirro dropped into the 10 when Bamford came on, which just upset the living daylights out of him because Pirro on the 10 is just an absolute no. And then he brought on Joseph, and then Pirro dropped into centre midfield, lads. Like, what even formation were we playing towards the end of that? It just felt very, kind of like gun ho, get on there and look at we were lucky enough to get the draw. So it doesn't really seem like Farke for me has a plan B when things aren't going well away from home. And that's where it comes back to his man management. Like, what is your what if? And Bielsa always had a what if, even if that what if was Tyler Roberts and we hated it. But he always did have a what if. He always had, right, this is what I'm turning it, this is what I know. Just feels very kind of reactive from Daniel Farke rather than proactive ahead of the curve that if this does happen, I know I'm doing this. So, yeah, he needs to change. He needs to have a look himself. Look, he's still a manager. He's still learning. Look, he probably, would you say, look, I probably would say that this is probably the biggest job that he's ever had in his career. Like, and probably the weight of the fan base behind him as well. He's still learning. I hope he does. I think we can turn it around away from home though. I don't think it's that major. I just think, like what Matty said, a couple of tweaks, whether it's formation, just upping the tempo a little bit away from home. Let's move the ball a bit quicker, because we definitely have the quality. And once you have the quality, things should come good.
I agree, mate. I think it's a problem now, and it's something that will definitely get spoke about. It's the most probably talked about part of Leeds' game and form. It stands out like a sore thumb. It's the only really part that's missing is a bit more consistent. I mean, we're 8th in form table away from home, which for a side going for automatics is not the best. We can bring that up a couple of places. We're right in there, but I do think we'll get it right, 100%. I don't think come end of the season we'll be 8th, 9th in form table away from home. I think we'll average out and we'll find a bit of a middle ground there, and I expect it to be in that top 4. I think his own form will stay number 1, 100%. I don't see it changing there, but yeah, it's one of them, mate. Like, I'd like to know, Dillo, your thoughts as well on the strikers. Do you feel? Because I sort of feel like Bamford only comes on now when it's like throw the kitchen sink. When we're desperate.
Yeah,
I don't feel like
that's
Bamford,
what it is. He's chucking players on for the crack.
He's never in the conversation, Bamford, is he? To be playing just because he's worth a start. It's only ever when Pirro and Joseph are struggling in one game. I don't think you're ever gonna see Bamford start. I might be wrong. I know people say in January he's gonna start playing, but it's gonna take some mighty effort for him to come off a bench for these 20-minute spells where he gets now and again. I mean, he came off bench before Joseph a couple of weeks ago, and we all thought that this was starting, and he didn't play for 2 games. So he only comes on when we literally, as a striker up bench, just get him on. And I mean, how do you feel with those strikers? I feel Joseph to start, Pirro to come on, and then Bamford's last option. But we're seeing a bit of change, rotation, whatever it is. I don't know what he does, but it changes nearly every week now. Do you think there's a better answer for that, Dillo? And if so, which should he go with the majority of the time, or is it based on opponents?
Well, I think when teams that we play do the low block, I just think Joseph is better because I just feel like his press is a whole lot. He just stretches them wide enough. But Pirro can put it in the back of the net. As far as Bamford, it's like a ticking time bomb now at the minute, because usually he does have a dip normally, and then he'll come on, he'll score a goal. He'll play 5 or 6 games and do well in them, and then he'll get injured again. So I'm surprised he hasn't scored yet, and he hasn't got injured. So you could say a new lease of life. Definitely not, because he's absolutely tortured. But I think it's time for him to go in January. Yeah, go and get another 9. I don't think it's going to solve our problems. Maybe get someone on loan or a youth prospect.
I don't think he goes in January, lads. Though Hugh's going to take him on.
No, he's definitely not.
Can't see the club letting him go, lads.
I don't think he goes.
And if the club do let him go, then they put themselves under a bit of pressure to try and get, another cover then in the striker position. I can't see him going in January.
No, he definitely won't. I don't think he will.
No, I don't. I mean, to be fair, he is getting minutes now.
Evie's spot on, and he is starting to get. Yeah, Mike, you're saying he's starting to get minutes.
I know he's come on, like I say, a few weeks ago, then he's had a spell out the side, but he's going to have spells. He ain't going to get many minutes when we're winning, like those home games. There were no need to bring him on, so they're not going to bring him on when we're comfortable. I don't think, because I personally don't think he offers as much as the other two. People might disagree with that. There's a lot of Bamford fans out there for what he's done for us. I understand that. And because he doesn't play a lot of minutes, it's easy to always think of the good of Bamford, because he isn't in front of you, missing chances like he did. But then this game, hopefully, it makes people remember this is what he does. Like, he gets in positions. He's got a lot to his game that, we can admire. And to be fair, Bamford could even be a plan B. We always go on about a plan B. We ain't got one. Bamford sort of that, lump it up there. He can hold it. He's physical. But ultimately, he gets there and misses 9 times out of 10.
But it was harder to miss that than it was to score.
I've heard a lot of takes still where they say, we're behind him. He were behind him enough where he got his foot behind it and still had time to flick it and make contact. It was easy. Just stick your boat out, wrap your leg around it. On 35 grand a week, wrap your foot around it. It's an easy tapping. It's all subjective, because I think if Pirro's there, it's a goal, and you can say that about anyone, can't you? But we saw Max Vober get in a position similar to that other night and smashed it in as a left back with his right foot. And I know it was a different chance, different moment, but it's just one of them with Paddy. It's because
Bamford was trying to show off.
Times. Yeah,
that's what it is. It's the same whenever he came on the last time. He was more interested in winding up the players than he was playing the game. He has to be the centre of attention about everything. Really, that would have been another thing as well if he did have scored that. Oh, it would have been nice.
That's wild. I mean, I get
Stardom.
I get this one. I totally get that one.
Yeah, I get that one. Yeah,
I don't get started him in a league game. I really don't.
No.
I know
Is it because of? Oh yeah, I wouldn't know against Oxford, especially now at their second manager as well. There, new manager pounds, lads. I'm a bit worried. I wasn't worried before, but I am now.
100%. I mean, this is a good comment as well. Yeah, I think Pirot is our best finisher. Don't think he has enough service. I'd agree because I think if he got more service, he'd be on 15.
Could you imagine someone like Pablo, like constantly giving him chances, putting chances on plates for Joe Pirot? Like, like that. If we just had someone just putting it on a plate for him, he'd score every time. That's lead in front of the goal.
You don't miss. How many times have you seen? It's very rare. I mean, the game. Who did we play at home other week? Well, other day. What it? Middlesbrough. That he almost scored in that one. That was an absolute worldy save down to his left by their keeper.
Yeah.
He almost scores that. It's very rare. Does he miss a sitter? Does he miss? It's not like he has 3-4 shots and you got keepers play well. 1 or 2 and it's a goal. We haven't had that in a long time. It's just like you say, he don't get as much service as what some players have in past. And if he did, he'd be clear of everyone in the league for me because spearheading the attack for this lead side.
Joby has it there as well, like that. He just doesn't. For me, he just doesn't get himself in the box enough. I always say to Dylan, like, if Pirot could just add that to his game, just getting into the box. Like Ruud van Nistelrooy is like the prime example of it. Just get yourself in the box, like, and you'll score goals. Like it's much to the same level that his finishing is just outstanding. If he could just get himself in the box a bit more, rather than hanging out, he'd score a lot more goals.
I'm not too sure about this comment, me. I mean, I think this Joseph. He does a lot of stuff Paddy used to do, and we're 12 months on from that good run, and almost 12 months on, and I don't think he's got it in legs as much anymore. Anyway, the running side, which is his best part, the bits we have seen of him this season, I don't feel like he's got that. He's got it for maybe 10-15 minutes, and he can put himself about, but ultimately he can't finish his dinner when he gets the opportunity. You can say the same about Joseph, granted, but Joseph hasn't burnt me as many times as Bamford. I'm just a genuine fan who stands in stands and stands in stands. Let's be fair, half the time.
Power sheets.
And the majority of fans that same, I don't look too much into stats and stuff. The eye test for me tells you Bamford's done at Leeds, and I hope he goes on and has a good end to his career.
Would you think, Matty, like this is my fear with the Bamford situation? We brought it up weeks ago when the Joseph and Pirot situation was 2-0, and I brought up on one of the final points and I said to you lads, like, where do we go from here? Do you really think Farke might start thinking of putting Bamford in the side and we might start seeing it more and more? I think my fear, lads, is that, and like Danny's been calling for a while, like if we do kind of start with Bamford, let's say someone said it there in the chat, he starts again, Harrogate, has a decent game, scores 2 goals, hat-trick, whatever it may be, and he breaks into this squad then. And then he has 2, 3, 4 games, 1 beaten, 4 wins, 1 draw, Bamford looks great, and then he gets injured. And then we're back to square one, we're back to plan B, we're back to the Joseph and Pirot situation. And I think that's what Farke is thinking, because he's just not reliable. And again, Matty, your quote that you say to me, and it still sticks to me, the best ability is availability, and he's just not, lads. We can't hang our hat on Paddy Bamford. Like, if he's fully fit and firing, I'd have absolutely no problem. But just my issue with Paddy Bamford is that he's so inconsistent, and his body's gonna break down and won't carry him. Like what Matty said, he hasn't got it in the legs. He hasn't got it in the legs. If you put him in the squad for 2 or 3 games, you put him in the squad for 2 or 3 games in a row, he's gonna break down, lads, and we're back to square one, the same situation again. So we can't rely on him. We can't rely on.
He's more interesting on his podcast talking shit about Leeds.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's bored, lads.
Yeah, you can't. You can't, like you say, you can't get too excited. If he come off a bench and score us win of the day, you can't get too excited because, chances are he gets bloody injured in celebration, what we've seen before,
That's what he do, mate. He'll score the goal that he scored against Peterborough last year.
Then Farke's at the 13 is beat them with Pirot and Joseph. Then he's taking on the other side, and then he's trying to integrate them back into the squad. Then try and find another way. Right, who am I going with now this time? So for me, like, it's working fine. Like what you said, mate, I think it's working fine when Joseph starts and Pirot's coming off that bench. It seems to be working. It worked at the start of the season when we went on that little run. Then Pirot was in the squad. I went a little bit pear-shaped for a bit, but it seems to be working that way. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Joseph again on Saturday against Oxford, and then Pirot coming on.
I think Joseph does, lads. The tempo's much better there. 100%. And it's nothing to do with Pirot. Like, it's obviously to do with other players as well. But he will make that run. He's doing the job that he's not getting appreciated for. And then, Mate, you said it.
And he looked a lot better when he came on. Like, didn't he? He had a couple of pops, and he looked busy, Joseph. So yeah, I was happy when he came on. Yeah.
Matty did. When you said it, I was kind of like, no, I was being stubborn because I love Pirot, but I really am starting to see that now. Like, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I genuinely think Joseph should be the one to start, and Pirot, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously Bamford's, like I say, he's had more minutes now recently, this, as he did earlier in the season, and it's become a conversation now because a lot of people said, "Oh, is he getting in there?" I honestly feel like Bamford's been used as a bit of a tool to spur Joseph on, if I'm honest. Let's not forget Joseph was the starting 9. Farke backed him. We all backed him as a fan base. Thought at times last year, people thought he should have been playing last year. Joe Wayman touched on it quite a bit now. He's probably proven now last year Farke were right and maybe shouldn't have played him. In certain games, I think he could have come on and been an option, but he didn't, and fair enough. This season, we've seen frailty to his game, but let's not forget Farke started with him. And then over the last couple of weeks, fans have been thinking, it's third choice now. I don't think that's the case. I think it's been used as a tool to spur him on. We've seen Willie Nonto come outside in recent weeks. I know he's Paul at the minute. In recent weeks, come off the bench and score. We've seen Pirro be dropped, come on and score. We've seen Voba being out the side, him come back in and him take that shirt. If he won't for the knock, he starts again. When you look at that, I don't feel like Joseph being on the bench to Pirro is going to affect Joseph too much. He sort of expects it's a tussle with Pirro, and he's going to have games out, he's going to have games in, and they pretty much played similar amount of minutes. But when you drop him for Bamford, now that's Joseph looking at that going, right, okay then, I'll show you. And maybe he's not showed him quite yet, but for me, he's been used as a tool to spur Joseph on. Because like I say, I think being dropped for Pirro don't do much to Joseph's psyche, really. I don't think he looked into it too much of that. It is literally, as you've seen game to game, it's game by game for them too. If he ain't in game for a couple of days and it's Pirro starting, he ain't going to read too much into that. But when Bamford's coming off the bench instead of you, that there's got to trigger something.
Has to get into your psyche, yeah.
So I think that's why he's done it, if I'm honest. And you've seen that in the 2 home games where Bamford hasn't been used and he's back in the frame again is Joseph. So I don't know if you agree with that, but that's how I see it. I think it's a mentality thing where he's testing Joseph. He's just showing him, you're my number 1, you're my number 3 for a couple of weeks. Get back in, even though there isn't much in that. It's just a little nudge to him to say, I need more.
That's because we had that exact conversation after Blackburn, Matty, when we seen Bamford coming on, and I voiced out with you straight after the game with the shit up me going, I can't believe it, Matty. He's after bringing on Bamford ahead of Joseph. Like, can't believe Joseph was gone from like the number 1 starting striker now to third choice. And you couldn't have turned around and said to me, he was like, nah, I just think he's probably giving Bamford like a little bit of a nugget saying, look, keeping it in my mind, but also more so saying to Mateo Joseph, look, you need to work. Clearly he hasn't been doing that in training, and then you're right, then the next game then he does, and he's been starting again. So maybe it was just like the little kick or the little route that Mateo Joseph needed, just to don't rest on your laurels here. You need to get back in the squad. You've gone from starting and you're gradually falling down the pecking order. So hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't really like touching too much on Premier League, but there's a question coming in and we'll just go through it before we wrap it up. There's touched on it on Joe's show as well. How many of our starting 11 would realistically start for us in the Prem? Start with you, Darren. How many right now? I say of our starting 11, including as bench players, obviously. How many start in Prem?
Off the top of my head, he's going to add to it more, but I'm going to say 3. So I'm going to say Strike, Tanaka, and Ramazani, I think. Because I think Ramazani has a high ceiling.
Have you not picked any loan players there because they're on loan, or just because you don't think?
Yeah, just because they're on loan. Yeah, just because they're on loan. Yeah, well, here we go, Solomon. Yeah, look, Solomon, obviously, yeah. But look, okay. I do think, Mike, if we go up, I don't think we see Solomon anyway. I do look up. He probably will go back to Spurs and then head out towards Europe. But I can't see Farke signing him as much as he probably likes him. They'd be the trio. Maybe. Boys, I don't know if that's good or bad. I think 3. Or just like that's what I kind of see. Definitely, like Ampadu, would be interested to see how Ampadu gets on. He's kind of like a maybe. There's a lot of maybes, but I think I've answered this question before. I do think like we need a spine right across that spine. I think we need a goalkeeper. We need another centre half to go with Strike. I'm not sure about Rodon. Like, is Rodon going to be able to step up to the plate like that? What Matty said, Ampadu, Rodon. I'm not too sure about them. We definitely need another centre midfielder to partner Tanaka. We definitely need number 10, and we definitely need a striker as well. So you're talking the whole spine of that Leeds side. For me, needs upgrading if we do go up to the Premier League. Rodon and Ampadu. I'm a little bit kind of on the fence with them, but Tanaka, Ramazani, and striker, I do think I'm more than capable going up to the Premier League, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what not though.
What do you think, Dillo?
I'd be the same as Darren, but I would add in Dan James. I think he's ready for this next step up. All things considered, not just because he's banging in goals, but it's his speed and he's matured as a player. He's obviously definitely matured as a person.
Yeah, like there's a couple of maybes, but if you have like definites, 100% you say definitely could step up. Debut me 3, like you could definitely have maybes like that. Dan James, like he's done it there before. What would you say, Matty? What's your like?
It's crazy because if you ask me after a couple of wins,
like your definites and then to your maybes.
What's that, mate?
Like, so if you have like your definites like straight out in your head, like they would definitely be in the Premier League, and then if you have 1 or 2 where you're like, I'd like to see them in the Premier League, then kind of all it.
straight out, mate, it'd be Strauch, Tanaka, Ramazani, Dan James. They'd be my 4 who I would be more than happy to see start for Leeds in Premier League. And then my question marks are Rodon and Ampadu. They're my big question marks. And Willing Onto. The thing is, Willing Onto, we've seen him do it in Premier League. So it's crazy to think, he struggles more in Championship than he does in Premier League. But we know he can do it in Prem. So, I wouldn't rule Willie out yet. But I do think we'll have a steady bench in Prem, because they ain't going to get rid of 7, 8, 9. They're not going to sell them. This side will be the bulk of what you see in Premier League will be this side. You'll have your fringe players go. You might have your loan players go. And they'll probably bring in 4 or 5. I don't feel like there's going to be 8 new starters in this lineup. There isn't. So your Ampadu's, your Bogles, these are probably going to start. Like they bought Bogle with a view of him playing in Premier League next season, 100%. Like, but they're not going to go out and get another 2 to start.
Yeah.
Keeper 10, 9. Essentially, I think Pirro's going to be a bench option. I think Joseph will be. There's definitely like 3 or 4. I think that we'll definitely bring in to start. But I do expect this side to be 6 or 7 of these. I would imagine would be starters. I really maybe 6. I expect at least 6 to start. They're not. If we're saying 3 and 4, they're not going to go out and bring in 7 or 8 starters. I don't think. But there's definitely Premier League quality there. But there's also a lot of players who are probably too good for Championship and maybe not good enough for where.
That's where going at. Like that's what I'm saying. Like them 3, my 3 definites, I think would be like it'd be interesting. Definitely. Like I'm not saying get rid of Rodon, get rid of Ampadu, get rid of James, get rid of Nanto. It'd be interesting to see how they get on in the Premier League this time. I know Nanto's been there, but he was very young, and obviously a lot of change in the managers when he was there as well. So it'd be definitely sticking with Nanto again in the Premier League, but to actually genuinely have the quality that I think would make a difference in the Premier League as of now would be them 3. James, would he start? Might he? It's just obviously a question. Yeah, it's a tough one. I definitely think he'd be an option off the bench. I'm not saying I wouldn't be starting him, but I'd like it better. And I don't know if that's because we've had our Rafinhas and that as well. Do you know what I mean? I know the likes of them only come around once in a blue moon, but just to go get someone like that as well, a nice little flair player.
I would sign him back.
Be nice as well. Yeah, bring him back. Yeah, as soon as we go, we bring him back. Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting to see. I do think we probably will need. Again, another little mini rebuild when we go up. We'll definitely need to invest in the squad. Like I said, that whole spine, I think we need to upgrade 100%.
No, definitely agree. Right, guys. Any final words, thoughts before we call it a night? We've got 46 people watching now. I hope you've all smashed a like and subscribed to the channel, and also on the Leeds Bros. I want to see plenty of subscribers go over there as well, please. But any final thoughts about waveform? Well, Oxford. Let's move on to Oxford. I'll tell you what, before we go Oxford, because we normally do. Anyone who doesn't know, we do a bit of a league table. I'm top currently on 2 points. Dillo's on 1. Darren's on 0. We predict the scores for the upcoming game. Anyone who's bottom of the table at the end of the season, coming the end of the season, the last final point in the season will be streamed with the bottom. The loser of that competition will be eating a hot chip, and they will be doing it on stream with a bit of a 10-minute afterburn. I expect them to be talking sensibly about the promotion we've just achieved, whilst the mouse on fire.
Whilst one of our partners are putting the toilet roll in the freezer just to kill it.
So yeah, that's what we're doing with that. So we will touch on that. But yeah, go on, Dillo. What are you expecting for Oxford? A good performance, and what result are you expecting?
Oh, can't wait to have a point. If I'm being honest with you.
We're all sitting together as well.
Yeah,
this time.
exactly.
We're going to be on it all
I'm
day.
looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. Just considering our form, hopefully the lads won't drop it, but I'm gonna go with a 4-0 to Leeds.
Oh, yeah, bollocks. Yeah,
go with it, mate. You can go with it too. You can take it too.
Nah, I like being different. I was so confident, but just them sacking our manager today, it's just it's always the Leedsy way, isn't it? Where the team sacks their manager and they get a nice little bounce after us. So I still expect a comfortable game. I hope it's going to be free flowing, but I'll go 3. I'll go 3-0.
3-0. I'd normally tip 3-0. You've gone 4-0. I'm going to go 5-0.
Oh, I love it.
Which,
cheers, Joe.
let's be honest,
what's it on, Joe?
We get to 2 or 3 and we sit back, don't we? Put the handbrake on normally. Don't like to batter teams. Don't like to embarrass them. I'm going to go 5-1. Amy's gone 2-1. I don't see Oxford Amy, but you never know.
Get her out of here.
3-0 boss that.
She's only trying that in because she's not going. Yeah.
So what's this on?
Are you
sending it into chat, mate, or
class.
looking elsewhere? Waiting for Joe Blackburn's.
I love that. Yeah, come on, Joe. Love that, buddy.
What's that?
So Joe Blackburn just did us up a nice little overlay, if anyone can see it, with our crests and all that for the next one with a little point on the edge. Quality, love that, Joe, buddy. Nice one. That was class. Love that. Nice one, Joe. Cheers, buddy.
I was on the wrong thing altogether. I was on Twitter.
Cheers, pal.
I was on TikTok there.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Cheers, Joe. You're a star, mate. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm gonna go 5-0. And yeah, hopefully, to be fair, I ain't bothered about that challenge. Hopefully, one of us is right. 3, 4, or 5, we'll all be absolutely buzzing with that.
Once Leeds get the win. I hate going off to Leeds when we lose, lads. Just the press still we found me, so
it needs to be a good one, lads, or we'll be predicting losses for Stoke on Boxing Day. You know what I mean? So it needs to be. We won't predict.
We're bringing a bag, mate. You have to blow a bed in the bag.
Darren's missus is fuming. She's not allowed to come. She's fuming. Ain't coming this time.
She absolutely loves going to Leeds. She loves going.
So would I. Right, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone in chat. Thanks to these two wonderful men. I love this show. I love these two. Friends for life. Leeds through and through. Absolutely love it. So I can't wait to see you next Saturday.
I see you next Saturday. Early doors, well. Early.
I'm gonna bring Piro with me anyway.
I tell you what, if anybody in chat wants to meet us in town, we'll go for it. Right, we're going to be out in Witherspoons, breakfast. Then we're going to go. The Moot. We're going to Moot All Arms. We're going to be there.
Yeah, so we're in. That flight is 6:30 on Saturday morning. So, yeah, so we're in there. We're in.
Then he did put up from that another Leeds podcast. Look at that. Can you see that? Ooh, look at it. I love that. I love that.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, Danny. So we're up early doors. We're up at we have to be in the airport for about 4:30. Flight is at 6:30. Into Leeds at 7:30. Go for a bit of grub. Matty, what time are you meeting us at?
It'll probably be about 9:30. I'll be about 9:30. Drop kids off. So we
got Wetherspoons and Leeds train station for a bit of grub. And then we're going to the Mill Hall Arms for a couple of points, whatever time that opens. So if anyone knows what time that opens, let us know. We'll be in there. I think me and Dylan will go do a little match day vlog as well. We'll have a little. Yeah, he's getting it. Jack, see, you watch yourself. I'm calling you out here now in front of everyone. Sick of your arguments now, Jack. See, Jeremy.
Danny, I knew Danny was going to put that up. The last comment.
But yeah, if anyone, we will be around. I'm sure we'll be in the Peacock and all as well. Pop us a message on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever you want to meet up for a point, or if you just want to shout at us because you don't like us or whatever. Yeah, it is. We be around Leeds anyway. Yeah, well, LUFC stay as it there. We're going to be wrecked, and then our flight at home is 8:30, I think, as well. So after the game, we'll have a chance for maybe a point or 2 or 3, and then back to the airport.
Come on down and meet with myself and Darren and Matty. We'll buy you a few points.
We'll all be sat there on the final pint on Sunday with water. We've not been able to talk about the game because we've not seen it because we've been kicked out or something at 5
I don't think I'll make the final pint on Sunday.
You'll be shaking, mate, on a 2-day bender as well, like your Christmas party the night before. You'll be steaming. I'll have, as soon as you come around the corner of Wetherspoons, I'll have a point straight in your hand. You won't even get to hug me, say hello, nothing. I'll be just like, drink that. I'll get that into you.
I might change my flight to the Friday. Go with you, my dear Christmas party.
It's when you're watching on TV and you see there's a streak and you're like, is that like my from Imagine Not Being Leeds? Like, what's going on here?
Is that a Tic Tac?
Come over here, I'll freshen your breath. Come here. Right. Make sure you go over and check out all the Leeds bros. Love them a bit.
Cheers, lads. Thanks very much.
Thank you for everyone in chat. It's been mint tonight. Thank you so much for all your support. Take care, everyone.
See you later, lads. Enjoy.